Brilliant news for Newcastle fans and brilliant news for Liverpool fans because the Geordies have made a bid worth around £70 million for Benjamin Sesko. All week it's been which club would Sesko prefer, Man U or Newcastle United? And what Newcastle are trying to do is be aggressive, get this deal agreed with Leipzig now and get rid of Man U. Make it a one-horse race so that Sesko's options is to remain at Leipzig or to go to St James's Park. Because Man U have a long-standing interest in him. They do want him, but it's a case of can they afford to match Newcastle's bid of up to 70 million quid. Now, Man U need to sell this transfer window. We know who they're trying to sell with the likes of Garnacho and Sancho, but they do not need to sell before they buy. So they can still bring players in with the assumption players will be leaving Old Trafford later on this month. So Newcastle are going early, going aggressive, trying to get Sesko in, get Man U out of it. And I hope he does go to Newcastle. I think this would be the right club for him. And I think if Newcastle can then go get a Wissa or a Watkins to go with Sesko, I think that would be a fantastic duo for them next season. Not necessarily on the pitch at the same time, but slightly different profiles of players. Sesko's aerial ability is just unmatched. His ball striking ability, I think, is fantastic. Still, a lot of work needed done. I think there's a lot for Eddie Howe to work with and mould into his kind of striker at Newcastle. This story is not going away, Sesko to Newcastle. He's just got to decide, is that the club he wants to go to? Or is he going to hold on for Man U? Will Man U even match Newcastle's bid? That's what we're going to find out over the next few days. But if they do get him in, I think that just takes away the sting of losing Isak. Because despite what a few Newcastle fans said yesterday, I still think he's going to Liverpool. It's just inevitable. And there may be some dreaming, we might have Isak and Sesko next season. They might do, it's possible. I just can't see it. I think Isak is off to Anfield. It's just a case of how much. And I appreciate some journalists are reporting they're not going to make a second bid. But there are also some journalists saying they're prepping a second bid already. One to watch, big transfer. I just want to say a quick thank you. Thank you to you. 5,000 subscribers yesterday. That's a morale boost. I was hoping to do it before the Premier League gets underway in 2 weeks' time. So to do it now, it's nice. Now, I'm not going to set any targets for future. I don't like them because if you don't hit them, you feel bad. Now, don't get me wrong. You hit them, you feel good. I don't like the risks. I'm not going to say 10,000 before Christmas. Unless I get to like the 1st of December and I'm on 9,500. Then about, oh, hey, let's go 10,000 before Christmas Day. So I'm not doing it now, but I just want to say a massive thank you for the support. I appreciate it. But if you're new to the channel, please do subscribe. Right, Everton, Tyler Dibling. They've had a bid rejected. 27 million. I'm going to be honest. I'm lukewarm. The kid clearly has a lot of potential. He's definitely got something about him, right? He's not a bad player. I'm just not sure he's a top player. And to be fair, maybe Everton don't think he's a top player. I guess what they're trying to do is bring him in and develop him into one of the better wingers in the Premier League. I've been impressed in some games. He's definitely got something about him when it comes to travelling with the ball. He's definitely a really good technical player. But I don't know, there's just something... Do you know, sometimes you watch a player and you perhaps can't quite put your finger on it, but you're just not that convinced. But what I will say is he was playing for Southampton in the Premier League last season. His teammates were not necessarily the best teammates to have. Perhaps they weren't on his wavelength. I am being kind to him here, though. And 27 million isn't a chunky transfer fee. But how much higher are Everton going to go? I think once you get over 40, that's when I'm starting to think this is a little bit expensive. Because when you look at other players that have gone this summer, granted, around the 50 million mark, they feel better than Dibling. But I appreciate he's got a few years in the bank as well. It'd be an interesting transfer if it goes through, but I'm just not convinced yet. I need to see more from him. That makes me think, yep, that's the answer. Clearly, a lot of potential, but I think he needs a lot of work and development. And I think there's more potential, or to be fair, maybe not. Maybe more ability right now in a target for Leeds United, which is Alkmaar of Leicester City. I'm a big fan of him. Big fan. Now, I like him playing on the left, and I like him playing number 10. I've seen him play a little bit deeper sometimes for Leicester City. Don't like him playing there at all. I don't like him as a number 8. I think he's terrible at it. But further up the pitch, in those attacking spaces, which is what Leeds are after. They've got their midfield sorted. Leeds are not looking for central midfielders or number 8s or anything like that. They are looking for players that can get involved and can produce in the final third of the pitch. I think Alkmaar will do just exactly that. Now, Leeds perhaps aren't going to enjoy this bit because, as I said, they keep telling me they're going to be in the top 10. But this is the type of signing that's very clever. So if the worst thing does happen and you go back down, you've got a player that will be one of the best players in the Championship. It's a little bit Ipswich Town. That's what they did. They came up, they signed the likes of Amadi Hutchinson. And if they can keep a hold of him, they'll have one of the best players in the Championship next season. So I really rate this transfer. Alkmaar to Leeds will be a massive yes for me. And like I said, I always think, would I have this player at West Ham? Tyler Dibling, I think he'd be a punt. Alkmaar, absolutely, I'd have him at West Ham. I think this would be another top signing for Leeds United. Wolves are being linked to a player I've never heard of, but he plays for Sevilla, and that is Juanlu Sanchez. That's an incredible first name, isn't it? Juanlu. I'm assuming I'm pronouncing it right. Juanlu. Juanlu. It's got to be Juanlu, isn't it? Juanlu Sanchez. They need a right-sided defender after Semedo departed this summer. Now, Napoli have been in talks with Sevilla for about a month. So, personal terms between Sanchez and Napoli have been done for a long time. But they're clearly struggling to agree a deal with Sevilla. So, I think Wolves have gone in there hoping they can maybe pinch him. Maybe the player will be completely sold and he's only going to Napoli. But if he's open to move to Wolves, then you'd imagine they might be able to agree something with Sevilla. They're going to have a bit of that, Wolves. Wolves will get a little bit of that, haven't they? So that's one to keep an eye on. Also one to keep an eye on. Now, if I'm coming across as lukewarm on Dibling, I'm going to come across cold here. Broja to Burnley. Chelsea's Armando Broja, who's had various loan moves in the Premier League. Southampton, Everton, Fulham's in my head, but I don't think he did. Did he go to Fulham? He can't have gone to Fulham. Did he go to Fulham? My brain says Fulham. The other part of my brain says you're wrong. Either I'm going to look good or stupid right now. Anyway, he's had a few loan moves. It's fair to say the one at Southampton looked good, and after that, none of them have worked out. Clearly, if he did go to Craven Cottage, wasn't that memorable. 2-3 seasons ago, after that Southampton loan move, or during that Southampton loan move, he looked like he had what it takes to go on and become a really good striker in the Premier League. He's got a decent bit of pace about him. Strong, good striker of the ball, powerful. He ticked a few of my boxes if I was looking for a striker. But he's just injury prone, isn't he? He's just broken. When I see Burnley linked to him, I feel like there's an obvious transfer here for Burnley, and I'm not sure. Maybe if there's a Burnley fan watching, you can inform me of why not, right? But David Fofana, who was at Burnley a couple of seasons ago when they were last in the Premier League, I thought he was decent at Turf Moor. I liked what I'd seen from Fofana at Burnley. He's still at Chelsea, and Chelsea weren't rid of him. So why are they going for Broja? This is a transfer I'm not sure about. I appreciate that Burnley, perhaps... I feel bad saying this because it's always harsh, it's always patronising, and I don't like doing that, but it's my honest thoughts. It's a bit slim pickings for them. They don't have the pool of Sunderland or Leeds or any of the other... I think if every club in the Premier League went for the same player and that player had to prioritise clubs in preference, I would expect Burnley to be bottom. That's my honest thoughts. And maybe they've got to the point where they're just... It feels a little bit desperate, this transfer. It's a permanent transfer as well, and it's not going to be cheap. It's probably going to be over 20 million. I'm just a bit worried about this one. When they signed Tuanzebe, I thought, yeah, that's a good signing. When they signed Kyle Walker-Peters, I thought, that's a good... No, not Walker-Peters, he's at West Ham. When they signed Kyle Walker, I thought, that's a good signing. I praise those signings, and I stand by praising those signings. But this one... It's not getting a Geo seal of approval, which I don't think anyone cares about. But this channel's for honest opinions. My honest opinion is I don't rate this player at all. Douglas Luiz, hopefully by the end of the transfer window, he will have joined a Premier League club. It feels like he's been going on for a while. It's probably only been about 2 weeks, but it feels like it's dragging on. AWOL in training last week, so he's trying to force a move through. Linked to various Premier League clubs. Strongly linked to Everton out of everybody. And we played Everton in a pre-season game on Wednesday night. Oh my God, they were stinky. And there's been a couple of Everton fans that have commented that I've seen just saying, we're not looking too good at the minute and struggling to get players in. And Moyes has spoken about he's struggling to get players in because he doesn't have European football. There's 9 Premier League clubs playing European football next season. It's going to make it difficult. Yeah, top 7 plus Palace plus Spurs. Yeah, there's 9 Premier League clubs in European football next season. So if any of those 9 go for the same player as Everton or West Ham or whatever, you're possibly going to lose out because you don't have that European football to offer someone. So it makes it a bit more difficult because essentially Everton, West Ham, Leeds, Sunderland, we will be targeting the same players, and we will be targeting the same players as Nottingham Forest and Crystal Palace, who do have European football to offer that player as well. So I think Everton are just getting a little bit frustrated, although I do rate some of the business they've done, particular Adam Asnu. I'm a big fan of that one. And I don't think they're their only club. My club, we're struggling to get players in. I think it's more a case of bad negotiating rather than not being able to attract the players we want. But I think there's quite a few clubs at the moment I'm looking at. Aston Villa, Crystal Palace, Everton, West Ham, Fulham. I'm looking. Wolves, but they're getting their stuff together now with Wolf arriving and stuff. But Wolves were another club that I was looking at thinking, come on then, like, who are you going to get in? Brentford I would maybe add into that equation as well. I'm looking, going, come on then, are you going to do a bit of business? You need to do a bit of business here. Newcastle as well, but I've already covered them. I'm looking at them saying, come on, man. I think they're just struggling with the negotiations as well as a pool. Still plenty of time to go, just under 30 days and however many hours left of the transfer window. Still a long time, just 2 weekends away. This time in 2 weeks, Premier League football is underway. Oh, I can't wait. Cannot wait. Last night was not the best game in the world. Wimbledon against Luton. My word, that Luton team's been decimated, hasn't it? Seeing when it flashed up, I think they've only got one player that played in the Premier League, and Jordan Clark. That was it. I mean, they had the fairy tale, didn't they? But now they've got the nightmare and they're living it. But it wasn't the best advert for football has returned. But I'm looking forward to a weekend of football, to the matches I can tune into. Anyway, there you go. That's the latest Premier League transfer roundup for you. My predictions. I'm going to do this. Predictions. Sesko goes to Newcastle. Isak goes to Liverpool. Douglas Luiz goes to Everton. Broja does join Burnley. That's it. That's my predictions on the players I've discussed in today's video. Hopefully, you've dropped a like on the video by clicking thumbs up. If not, please be so kind to do so. Subscribe to Tartan. Catch up with you tomorrow.